Okay, we're back. We've got Shane playing Burt West, David playing Kai,
Hey.
David playing Kai the monk, and Amy playing Kiki the psychotic halfling rogue. So when we went to break, you guys were in the village on the edge of the lake, trying to decide what you were going to do next.
All right. We talked to that lady. I threatened her a little bit, and then we're gonna go to that obelisk or whatever it is, the mage tower. I don't know what it is. What's it called?
I called it an edifice.
Edifice.
Now that you're sort of down where you can see it, it seems to be a couple stories tall, made of the same granite that seems to make up the mountains around here. It's got 3 doors that the roads each lead up to, sort of up a couple steps to these massive doors, and then the center of it seems to be a circle with the sort of these alcoves that come off of it to where the doors are.
Okay. So, is there anybody like waiting at the door or anything, or is it like an empty place? Is it pretty?
You don't
desolate?
see any life on the island itself.
Okay. Well, I guess whatever is going to happen when we walk up there. So let's saunter up, like we own the place.
Is that the plan?
I am Crow.
What?
So
I think it's a good plan.
Okay.
So I need either dex or strength checks from you guys. If you're
Shit.
if you're using strength, you can add athletics. If you're using dex, you can add acrobatics.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I got an 8 plus 3, so that'll be an 11.
It's a 25 from me.
Okay, so Kiki just sort of skips lightly across these stepping stones.
Yeah. I'm gonna go around back.
Without any trouble whatsoever. The other guys, Shane.
What the fuck?
Hi, Mom. What you doing? Are you playing the D&Ds? Are you on a call?
That's a pretty serious growth you got coming out of your neck. I think you should.
Can I play? No, I want to play. I want to play Druid.
How often does your personal space get just completely invaded by this cat?
All day, every day. He's sitting on me.
I'm just gonna sit here. You're not trying to do anything, are you?
I don't even know what
Shit,
to
you're
do.
not busy. Look at me. Black cat in a pink hole. That was obvious. Jesus. Little starburst starfish coming out of that podcast. Flashback to an hour and a half ago.
So are you gonna do anything about that, or?
I don't know what to do.
It's like a time bomb. If you touch it wrong, it'll go off.
Okay, hold on.
Jesus Christ. The cat's lucky. It's adorable. Dude, if that thing looked like a capybaras or whatever that thing... oh my god. This thing would be dead.
So that's Elwood.
His name's Elwood? That's awesome.
Yeah, they got him a pair of black cats, and so they named him Jake and Elwood.
Oh, sweet.
The Blues Brothers.
So anyways.
Sorry.
For all those people under 20.
If you haven't seen the Blues Brothers, you should. It's an amazing movie. Just stop what you're doing and go watch.
Listen to this man.
Yeah, you want me to wipe the dead bugs off your windshield? Anyways, I don't know why that line is the one that came to mind. I was trying to think of what's a quintessentially Elwood line, and it was.
And you did it well too.
Top
I could,
lights, top doors. And
cap shocks. Or it's 12:01. We've got 8 hours to make it to Chicago to drive 150 miles. We've got a full tank of gas and half pack of smokes. Hit it. Anyways,
sorry, what were we doing?
back to the game. So Kiki sort of nimbly pirouettes her way across the stepping stones. Bert's doing more of like the Aerith in Final Fantasy VII, jumping from building to building with the 1, 2, 3, but you make it.
Am I doing like the fist thrusts? Like
Yeah.
1, 2.
Kai, you are doing similarly, except in the second to last stone, you do not make it, and you fall flat on your ass in the lake. You drag yourself ashore like a dripping cat, like your hair is all stuck to the side of your head.
I'm not even trying to mask my pleasure at this. I'm just laughing. I just realized that I'm still wearing my hospital gown, and I'm just carrying a bag of my crap. I meant to change when we left that room, but I was like, oh shit, there's no time. The door opened.
Are you holding
standing
the dress up as you walk over the stairs?
Yeah, dude. As I was jumping across, my bare ass is like getting flung out in the middle of the day. It's a glorious sight, wasn't it? So everything that I have flapping around in the wind.
Maybe that's why the washerwoman didn't want to talk to you.
Probably. I'm just this crazy guy in a white gown with a
What's
bag
your
of who
race?
knows what. Just, hey, my name's Bert. What's yours?
What's your race?
Half elf.
Wood elf?
I don't look too
All right.
weird.
It's not horrific then.
I just got here. My name's Bert.
I like that tower. What's your name?
Psst, Caleb, is there a pebble on the ground anywhere?
Yeah, the shores have, soil and pebbles that have been washed up.
I'd toss one at Bert.
I catch it. Hold on, let me try this. What would that be? Dexterity?
Yeah, we'll say a dex saving throw.
Okay. Uh-oh. 10. Total.
Yeah, no, it pegs you.
Oh, damn it. So I'm just holding my hand out like I'm
Yeah.
catchable, and then I just take it in the face.
It's like a Smalls in the Sandlot, where you hold your glove up, but you're just sort of swatting at it.
I picture
I feel my eyes in the sun and my hands.
you hit you in the face, and then you put your hand up.
Funny story, I've done that. I was working at a restaurant, somebody threw ice at me, it hit me in the face, and I put my hand up to grab it. I look like a fucking retard. Oh. Holy shit, I am this guy. Reflexes of a cow.
Like the dinosaur where something hits the tail, and like 2 minutes later, the signal manages to reach the brain.
Yeah. Except I have no excuse. Like, I'm 40 yards long.
So,
Quit your laughing.
so the path leads up to these stone doors. I'm sorry, the doors themselves aren't stone; they're metal. You can't make out the composition of them. It's sort of a shiny, silvery metal.
I'm
And they're-
impressed
What?
by this metal. Looking at the metal. Sorry.
okay.
right, you're the smith. Yeah, you're. The doors themselves look like they've been carved into sort of abstract shapes. You don't think they have any meaning. They're just sort of pretty symbols and designs. The path leading up to it is worked stone with sort of hedges along the side. So that's what you guys see.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
go
they
around
made
back.
Frank Lloyd Wright, and they made him build this tower.
So you go around to the other sides, you see pretty much the same thing from all angles. If you go to the next path over, it looks about the same. Ditto for the third path.
With
And in
Doors
between
and
it.
stuff?
Yep. And in between, there are sort of tailored manicured lawns and gardens, and sort of a pleasant place to hang out and look out over the valley. Or up the valley, rather, since you're in the bottom of like a big bowl.
Do we have like a turn order? Can I just?
Let's just,
I imagine we just walk up to the door and it would open for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the side door and open it.
I'm just lying on the ground trying to peel off some of this metal.
You're like sticking a coin underneath like a vault or something. It's like, come on, you son of a bitch.
You can't seem to make a dent or scratch in the metal.
Dang it.
So while these two are doing that, what are you up to, Bert?
I'm going to go to a different door and see if it'll open. Actually, I'm going to go to the one in front of me because Kiki went around the side, or around the back, whatever, to like one of the other two doors. I'm going to see if my magic members-only bracelet can open this members door.
So what do you do exactly?
I put my hand directly on the door while doing no checks whatsoever.
So you just pulled your hand there?
I just put my hand right on it. Just,
It feels like a metal door.
God damn it! I bang my bracelet on it.
It makes sort of a resonant clanging sound.
I yell, "Let me in!" Nothing.
Did you try opening the door?
Is there a handle? I mean, I thought it was just a smooth like slab. I didn't know it was.
You can see where the doors are, like it's double doors.
So it's not just like an opening, or like not like a smooth door that would open from the other side or from a mechanism. It's an actual door. I'm standing there
Just
and I'm
yelling
friggin'
at it?
like a real door
Like,
with a
what are you
handle.
doing?
Maybe they don't have doors where you come from.
I
Maybe-
came from Miskatonic University. That place is made of doors. Okay, let's go.
Maybe you came from like the Enterprise where the doors just open automatically.
Computer, let me in.
Scotty with the mouse when he's talking into it.
Hello, computer.
Computer. Yeah. So I look down, I see the doorknob, and I look around to see if anybody's looking at me beat up. And then I open it. You don't see any of this, Kiki.
So there's no door, no knob or
Thank God.
anything, but you just push and they swing inward.
Okay.
And Kai, as you're sitting there scraping at the metal, the door starts to swing inward.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause
you're at a different door. Okay.
I would imagine that you. Oh, you went to a different door, Sheen?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I was going to go to... honestly, I didn't know that Kai was actually trying to peel parts of a door off. I thought he was at a wall, and he was just trying to peel shit.
He's laying on the ground by this large metal door, sitting there scraping at the base.
So, yeah, I opened the door while he's trying to do something.
Okay. So, yeah,
Sorry.
you were so absorbed in what you were doing that you didn't even notice him like yelling and clanging at the door, and then finally going, "Oh, I can just push."
Well, apparently there's no valet here to let me in, so I guess I'll do it myself.
Hello,
Honored
door
guest.
service. So the door swings open, and you see a sort of a short corridor that the interior seems to be all marble, and in the center there's a cupola with a skylight in the center, and light streaming in from that seems to illuminate the room. There are
other door, the hallways from the other doors coming in. From,
yes,
like, okay.
and in the center there's a ring of stone columns holding up the cupola, and you can see a spiral staircase within those leading downward. And that's what you see in this building.
And
And
to the side door, what is that?
same. There weren't really any side doors. Each door looked out on one of the roads. But whatever door you went to, same thing. You push on it, it opens up and you find yourself in this chamber, the circular chamber.
Okay, I express a really half-hearted apology to Kai for messing up his metallurgy, and then I walk off to the spiral staircase, and I proceed down. That's where it's going, down.
Yes.
Okay.
As he walks off, I pull out crowbar and hammer and
Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
try to go to town at this metal real quick.
You're clanging at the end, like some thug trying to take the wheels off an old Dodge.
You hammer away at it, and eventually it gets to the point where you lose a little bit of your monk discipline, and you're just sort of flailing, and nothing you do seems to have any effect on this door.
Guy losing his shit, echoing down the hall. I would like that. I would like that very much. Yeah. So, do I need to? Should I roll like a wisdom or arcana check on just like the interior of this corridors, see if anything is weird or any more out of place than it should be?
If you would be doing that, then yeah, you can definitely roll a wisdom for perception.
That'll be 16. Oh, I'm sorry, 14. Sorry. Did it wrong.
You notice that there seem to be dormant runes on the walls. You get the sense that they're supposed to illuminate this place at night when there's no sunlight streaming in through the cupola. And then as you go down the spiral staircase and you sort of get out of the range of the sunlight, you see that there are like gems embedded in the wall that put off a soft illumination. You also notice that the sun coming through the skylight does seem to light up different places. Like it looks like, depending on the time of day, it's going to illuminate different things on the walls. Patterns you don't really recognize, but you get the sense that there is some sort of timekeeping mechanism at place.
Okay. Do we know enough about the rotation of the sun already, just from walking through the valley, to see if it would actually make like a day-like cycle, or would it be?
That's what it seems to be. Is that
okay.
you notice that it's only one wall that has it from one angle to another. That the other walls don't have that pattern. They just seem to have sort of random decorative patterns.
Fascinating. Okay.
So
yeah, we might check down. I'm going down the stairs.
Okay, what's Kiki doing?
I don't know. I already hate this place. Is there anything to steal?
Dude, gems on the walls.
My God. This place seems boring, but if they're shinies, I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, so yeah, if you go down the stairs, there are these gems in the walls.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, roll me a dex. And add your thievery. Is thievery?
Okay, how'd that happen? It doesn't matter, because one's a 1 and one's a 2. Fucking A.
I yell and alert the guards.
I'll let you keep the 2. So you're having a similar situation to what Kai is experiencing with the doors. You're sort of sitting there trying to get your dagger in to pry this gem, and you just cannot find a crack. So while you guys are occupied with that, Bert continues on down the spiral staircase, and you find yourself in another open circular chamber with passages leading off. And you see sort of a soft blue glow in these passages, as though light streaming through water. And you get the sense they're sort of like shark tunnels that lead to other rooms. But waiting in this room is, I don't want to call him wizened, because even though he appears very old, his hair is completely white, and he's got a long, luxurious beard, he seems hale and healthy and hearty. He's not bent over like with old age. His skin is lined, but not super wrinkled.
What's up, bro?
And in a baritone, which I can't emulate, welcome. You must be newcomers. I'm Lyrius. Welcome.
You're Lyrius?
Lyrius, that's my name.
Okay, cool. My name is Bert. It's not as luxurious of a name. Fantastic to meet you, sir. So what is this place?
This is the vault that I wish I could tell you who built it, but it's been here as long as anyone knows, and it's full of all of the wisdom of not just the current cycle of civilization, but all the ones that came before it. Or at least we assume it's their wisdom, but we can't really read it.
How long have you been here?
I don't know what, because you're a newcomer. I can tell. It's very. It has been a long time. I mean, before at least 3 sages before me, since anyone new has come here.
So you were born here. You didn't just wake up here.
I was called here.
Called. Oh, so okay, same thing.
Well,
how long?
I mean, I was born, in a neighboring land, but I was called to the bowl to serve.
Do you remember anything before you were called here?
Well, yes. I mean, I grew up in Zyria and studied in the colleges there, and I heard about the bowl and the vaults, and I came here just as the predecessor was passing on, and I took up his role, and that was. Well, I mean, I think 3 or 4 emperors have come since then, but I mean, I haven't really kept up with the times in Zyria.
Wow, that's a lot of information.
Yes, my nickname is Basil Exposition.
Sorry. What? I got a little more pleasure out of that than I thought I would have. What? So what is this? Like this entire land? What is this place? Like not just this one point in the land. This whole the valley and the huge arch and the sun that doesn't do what it should. According to my celestial markings.
We don't know a lot. We know that the architects built at least this place. We call them the architects. We don't know their true nature. And we know that sometimes newcomers arrive, people who weren't born here. They arrive, and usually they arrive in the bowl. And it's as if the place was designed to lead them here to the vault.
So they aren't necessarily like from. Well, what do you mean? They're taken directly to the bowl, like in here, like in this place.
This valley.
Anywhere in the valley. Okay.
We call it the bowl of the architects.
Okay.
Because it was clearly constructed, and it's a bowl.
Beautifully constructed. All right. So what's so there's Zyria. Is that which way is that? Is that
He points you down the road. He says that it's see, and this is where my plan breaks down because they don't really have a north or south. Well, he can give you a direction, but the thing is that depending on the kingdom, they differ on which is north and which is south.
Okay.
And
we'll make a map.
Yeah, well, he does. He explains to you that he figures out sort of which way you came in, and he's like, Zyria would be the road that the road you came on leads south leads to the Velant. Zyria is the next road going counterclockwise, and then the final road leads out to Rolumbur.
Rolumbur. That's fun to say. All right.
I can't tell if Amy's lagging or just bored out of her skull.
Bored. You're talking.
I'm having fun. Stop it. Okay. One more question. So when the last people were called here, like not called here like you were, but were brought here to the bowl. What exactly did they do? Was there anything expected of them? Were they brought here for a reason that you know of?
In the current cycle, which Ziri has had a few hundred emperors with some civil wars in between, and they're sort of the longest lived of the current crop. They have had 2 recorded instances prior to you of newcomers. Now, I mean, there may be newcomers that come elsewhere, but within the current records that we can read, there are just 2 instances, and they seem to be surrounded by periods of upheaval. It seems that the architects choose people that might upset the status quo, or if the status quo is upset, will help set a future path.
Okay. I want to see if I can do, like, what would an insight be? Like, to see if this guy would be offended by something. Okay. I want to see if this guy would be really offended, like, just to see by his manner, demeanor, the way he's talking or whatever, if I could tell if he would be really pissed off if we just set, like a brigade of trolls, goblins loose on the land, if he would care. Would I have to roll for that, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you goblin?
There were quite a few.
My goblin fucked off.
He did! That guy was... I was looking forward to palling around with that little turd bucket.
Really upset.
How about a 21?
You get the sense that he wouldn't necessarily be offended. That he's mainly here to keep the vault and to maintain the information held within.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to tell him then. By the dubs, we kind of set loose, I don't know, 4 or 5 goblins. Do you give a shit? We didn't know where we were when they got a hold, when they ran away from us. So they seem cool though.
Sure. He looks a little doubtful that they're cool, but he says that it's probable that they'll run afoul of some wild beasts or wander out of the bowl before too long. That
there are wild beasts here.
Not here, but goblins tend to be chaotic and curious and short-sighted, and they probably aren't going to find their way. Well, they're not going to wander to the vault if there's only a few of them. They're too big of a risk. So they'll probably wander out of the bowl and find trouble elsewhere.
Okay, I just didn't want that to bite us in the ass. If, they come back at some point. You guys let those goblins out. We're gonna have some trouble. Yeah, I didn't really want that. So, do you have a vault of information that I might be able to peruse through? Because you said something about keeping the information. Is that like a public library policy where I can just kind of like go through whatever I want?
Certainly. And he says down the halls, he goes, there are more floors than how do I put this? There are far more books than he's even managed to catalog, and they're not all books. There are tablets, there are crystals that contain information, and he only knows how to interact or read about 1/10 of it.
Oh, I'm gonna spend a lot of time here. Okay, I run off like a giddy child.
Amy, that's what Jim's doing.
Then, I disappear into the library. So, what do you guys do?
Do I have to make a saving throw?
No, because after Bert runs off into the library, Lyrius will make his way up the stairs, where he'll find Kiki prying away at her gym. And he just kind of stands there and stares for a few minutes. I did the same thing my first time here.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep doing it. Yeah,
You just look at him and keep going.
keep going.
Had a girl.
If you're looking for riches, I can direct you.
Do point.
Well, any of the roads can lead to riches, depending on how you want to go about getting them.
Mm-hmm.
Rolumbar is a war-torn, lawless frontier, but there's opportunity there. There are rare things that can be picked up and taken and sold.
Are there people?
There are a few settlements. There are lots of
people?
marauding bands of sort of nomadic creatures like orcs. If you're looking for lots of people, you probably want Zyria, which is the empire on the opposite coast. That it's got great cities, a great culture. I'm a little biased because I'm from there. But if you're looking to make a name with lots of people, Zyria is probably the bet for you.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Valant has ruins that you can plunder, and they have a smaller population, but sort of a richer sense of tradition. They have
I like
less
people.
than Zyria. Zyria, that road over there, that's the one you want.
People.
You have no idea what you've done, sir.
He claps you. He claps you on the shoulder and
What's
wishes
your
you
name?
luck. I'm Lyrius, the
Do you
sage.
have a last name?
The sage.
Do you have any family in
I-
Syria?
I gave up my family and all of my connections when I chose to become the
That's
caretaker of
That's
this
good.
place.
Good.
You're a strange little person, aren't you?
You are so creepy.
And he sort of claps you on the shoulder and heads up the stairs. Where he'll find Kai chipping away at the metal. You know, these
Just won't
doors.
do it.
These doors have stood here for at least 5 cycles of civilization without ever weathering or being marred. The Bulls had raiders come through at least 3 or 4 times, and they've sacked this place, but they've never managed to hurt these doors. Isn't that fascinating?
Sorry?
I wish I could tell you what the doors are made of, but I know that you're I'm not laughing at your tools, mind you, but they will not harm these doors.
Excuse me?
He sort of like grabs your crowbar. Just come away.
I kind of put my fist into his stomach.
Holy
Um,
shit.
And your fist is rebuffed by his rock hard abs.
Let's not mess with Pai Mei, motherfucker.
And he rips your eyeball out. No.
Campaign 1 done.
Yeah, excuse me. I just back away, hiding my tools.
Would you like to come in and join your friends?
I don't know these people.
Oh, you know you people.
Well, you're welcome to try to leave them, but you may want to hear what I have to say before you do.
Okay.
And he just turns and walks back in.
This guy is boring.
Metagaming a little bit. Some great advice I read in this book: don't split the party.
I follow him, eyeing the door.
Is that the plan?
And when he reaches Kiki, he sort of like kind of pulls you aside and sort of like ushers you down the stairs.
I look annoyed, but I go. Sort of a what the fuck sort of thing.
And he sets you up in sort of a parlor with wine and food, and I mean, you guys are getting kind of peaked. You haven't had any
Shove in my
food.
pockets.
And then he comes and finds Bert in the library. And he's like, you can bring that book
And
with you.
I'm already on my way out, and I have like a stack, like covered, like higher than the top of my head, tomes and scrolls, and I have like a handful of crystals, and I just come out and I slam all this shit on the table. I'm like, guys, we have to stay here.
So, you've all noticed the gifts the architects have bestowed on you. And he kind of points at the bracelets. Those mark you as newcomers. And I feel like I should give you a little bit of information. The newcomers that came the cycle before last, so the not the most recent set of newcomers, but the ones before, they each left the bowl by a different road, and shortly after they left, one of the traveling companions who joined them in the client village that was there at the time noticed that as they reached the border of the bowl, about 30 miles from one another, their bracelets turned bright white and started hurting. And when they pressed on regardless, another few miles, each of them, for lack of a better term, exploded.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna need one of you to cut my arm off.
And he kind of he grabs one of the scrolls from Bert, kind of reads through. He's yes, here. The previous time, they did try to remove the bracelets, and they exploded.
All right.
Can't fight City Hall, baby.
Worth a try.
However,
Yes.
according to this other account, in the annals of my 12th predecessor, apparently they gained the bearers had extra power that was bestowed upon them by the bracelets. Unfortunately, he didn't record how they unlocked this power.
Extra.
Was there some kind of a fusion dance involved where we?
But regardless, you should probably stick together.
Okay.
Is it gonna be one of these things? If we split up, the other one it gets all bad.
All three of you will die.
Oh balls!
But it's not to say we can't, tackle a whole dungeon in separate ways.
So what do you think the distance on these things is?
Well, as I said, it seemed to trigger when they were about as far apart as the two roads leaving this valley. And so I'm guessing probably about 20 to 30 miles. So you can be in the same city, and even around the same city, but if you each try to go to a different country, it'll probably end in tears. Well, blood.
Chunks.
Yes.
Chunks.
Though I hear that sloths love those.
So I go behind both these guys and I put my hands, I slap my hands on their shoulders, and I say, what do I say? I say, we're in this together, guys! Really loud right in their fucking ear.
I try to pickpocket him as he does that.
What do I have? I'm wearing my gown.
Roll me a dex.
Up the dress. Just try to go underneath.
Roll me a dex, sleight of hand if you have it.
So dex plus sleight of hand?
Well, you rolled a 1. So.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay,
I touched his dick and laughed.
Yes. Oh, you didn't just touch it. You fondled it. You You gave it a little bit of a stroke.
I look at Kai and Lyrius. I'm like, can you guys leave the room? Or look directly at me.
See, now I picture it. I'm doing it, but I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's something good, but I don't realize it's his dick.
Lyrius,
Either lock eyes with me or leave.
Lyrius looks really uncomfortable, and he's like, I didn't realize you had grown so close already. And he starts consulting some more scrolls. Usually, by all accounts, it takes at least a month.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
And what I love is that it's not even sneaky. It's not like under the table. It's just blatant reached over and grabbed and started going.
This is almost there.
Awkward.
Does he have a grip on my shoulder?
It's really tight right now. Okay. let's move on from the public hand job.
Got something good here.
Yeah, you do, but it's not coming up.
It won't move.
Totally, yeah, it's not moving anymore.
It's like a sword hilt or something.
There's a gem at the tip. Big one. So yeah, in some way or another, I'm done, and then I excuse myself, and I go behind doors to change.
Oh God.
You won't live that one down.
God, already.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Sandgiver, check. All right, I'm gonna come back.
So which way do you suggest?
I would
Oh
say.
yeah, where were you? Were you told to go somewhere, Shane?
I was not told to go anywhere.
wasn't
I was
listening.
just told where he was coming from. He gave us many options. Zyria, that's the most civilized, I guess. That's the Empire.
And what do you like? What sounds good?
Personally, I would like to go to where something is more civilized, put together. Maybe documents are recorded, history is
Zyria?
written down. Zyria, that's yeah.
Yeah,
I like
documents, people, write stuff.
But here are other options. We got Warlumber, which is it's like the Wild West.
People.
I mean, that could be cool.
People.
People. Yeah. Frontier. Frontiersman. I would think that that might be because if you, I whisper, I telepathically whisper, if you kill people there, no one will care.
I don't want to go there.
God damn it! All right, so we got Volant.
I'm not going there.
Not going there. Okay, so I guess we're going to Zyria, and we're gonna get thrown in prison. So let's go.
People need to care. I need this.
Did they say where they get their powers from?
We have to find this out.
Nobody wrote it
I have
down.
no idea. Yeah.
He says that he goes, well, it's the problem is that my predecessors only really got to interview these people when they first arrived. Everything else was hearsay and legend that was growing about them, except for the ones that blew themselves up, of course.
I am very interested in this power, by the way, because it might set us free from this place. Who knows? So I say Zyria is probably a pretty good starting choice.
Okay, so he points you off down the road to Zyria. It goes pretty much straight out to the mountains, and it enters a canyon that looks like someone just sort of took a big old chunk out of the mountains and put it aside and carved in steps leading down. And after you cross sort of the threshold of where the peaks encircling the bowl would be, it turns into a much more traditional mountain road. And you follow that down into what looks like the border village. Looks like they might have a mine nearby, as well as it's got some fortified elements, as if they're definitely a frontier garrison of a larger civilization. And we'll go ahead and close.
A civilization. There's like a. Sorry, before we close out, so there's just like this outpost. It's not really part of Zyria, really. They're just kind of here because there might be mineral goods. Is that just?
It's sort of you're at the farthest outpost of Zyria. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with Chinese history, but when they would be expanding out towards Central Asia, you would have these sort of fort garrison towns out on the Silk Road that were, to the Chinese, they were the edge of the world.
Okay.
But they were sort of the last outpost of Han Chinese civilization. They were built in the Han style, and the officials were Han officials. But it was usually, if you got assigned that post, it's because you fucked up in the capital and someone wanted to get rid of you. So
Okay.
So they exiled you out to the ass end of nowhere on the frontier, entirely away from the civilization you called home, having to deal with these barbarians that live beyond. And you get the sense that this particular posting is one of the cushier ones because the road that leads out of it leads into the bowl. And you get the sense that each of the regions that he described kind of view it as a sacred place, that they, standing rule is you don't march an army through there. That seems to be the current situation.
Okay. We might change that situation. Who knows?
So that's where we'll close off as you sort of approach this mountain village. So until next time.
All right. That was pretty fun. I like how this is going.